Kia ora. Today I am scraplifting Janine Noble. You can find her on Instagram at happy_scrapper, I think _Janine, but I will link that below so that you can check out some of her gorgeous work as well as this page that I am scraplifting. So I'm starting just by creating some splatters on the white daisy cardstock background. So to do this, I've just pressed the ink pad lids into each other like you can see me doing with the blue here. I'm using my water brush and I'm sort of picking up some of the colour and then splattering it off the corner of my acrylic block. This was a technique that I picked up at an album retreat with Close to My Heart recently. The album retreats are fabulous for picking up little techniques and ideas like this, so definitely check them out if they come up. Anyway, the layout that I am scraplifting, I really liked it because I loved the way that she had all the words describing the person that she was scrapbooking or documenting. So she was using sort of an outline alpha and sort of had that coming down the page right across through different aspects of it. So when I was putting together this kit to make this page or grabbing some different supplies and things, I wasn't necessarily thinking of the colours or the collections that go together. I was more thinking about the photo that I'm documenting here. So it's a photo of my husband on, I think it was Punakaiki Beach, up the west coast, up past Greymouth there, and I just like this picture. He was just sitting on some of the pancake rocks, just sort of waiting for me to amble around taking photos, and my dad was slowly making his way up the beach and stuff like that. So I just wanted to document some of that story, I guess, but as part of that, just documenting him. So I'm tearing some of this paper here, following the example of Janine's layout, and just pulling some pieces together and some layers that I'm going to sort of cluster into the center, and the words will go above and below these. So these papers don't necessarily go, but I actually like how they work together, bringing in elements of nature, bringing in some of those beachy tones, and yeah, just pulling a few different things together that wouldn't normally go together. So I enjoyed playing with this. So to put this page kit together, I actually went through my scraps container because I didn't need, other than that white daisy cardstock, any full pieces of paper. So it was quite fun just to pull out some different bits and pieces. Now, one of the things I did neglect to put into the kit was some spare white daisy cardstock, which I probably would have backed the photo with some white daisy cardstock if I had some, but I didn't. So actually that's just the way it is, and I actually like how it came out anyway. So now I am going to stamp some words. So I'm turning over my mat here. It's got a great foam side for stamping, and when I'm sort of stamping large areas like I will be with these different words, that not necessarily describing my husband, I'm just describing the event or what we were doing, and pulling out words that fit with that time or that particular beach walk. So the font I've used, I think, is an older one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's just sort of got like etched, like it's a drawn title almost. There's lines that overlap and things like that. So the letters kind of fit that. Is ethereal the right word, or something, to sort of that beachy kind of all over the place kind of scene. So also adding in the message here, love you, because that's a little bit of that story too. It fits with what's going on here. So I loved how Janine had pulled out words that described the person in her photo. I haven't necessarily done that. I've sort of documented, I guess, my connection to the person in the photo. So yeah, so that's just a little bit about that. It's kind of a bit daunting when you work backwards sometimes with writing words like adventures, because that's what we do together. We go on adventures, but making sure I'm spelling it backwards correctly. As a teacher, it's sometimes hard enough to make sure I'm spelling it the right way forwards, or when I'm checking student work as well. So yeah, it might have been a good idea if I'd written this down rather than just carrying on with the stamping, but I really like how this came about, and all of that was because of the inspiration of Janine's layout that she very kindly let me scraplift. So now I am just pulling out stickers from different collections. I grabbed a bundle of sticker sheets and I'm just pulling ones out that kind of fit with this photo and with this event, and that fit with that story. So I really liked the different floral embellishments that Janine had around hers. However, being sort of a beachy picture of my husband, there is some floral in there in that paper, but I didn't feel I wanted to go overboard with the florals with this particular page. So yeah, just sticker sheets I've grabbed out, not really any new collections or full collections. And as I was sort of putting these pages together, I realised how much I love mixing stuff up and not necessarily using collections as a whole or as they're meant to be. So just coming together nicely with just these different elements and different pieces. And sometimes the pieces don't all have to go or be matchy, and that's okay. And I actually really like how they turn out. So the different aspects here. Now I'm pulling out some of the sort of dots. I felt it just needed a little bit more dimension, so it's kind of flat at the moment. Yes, there's some torn paper layers and stuff like that, but it's still feeling quite flat. So finding some of these acrylic dots that kind of fitted with the colours and pulling out colours from those that work with this page or just give a little bit of interest point on there was the aim of doing this. So I really like how these different bits came about. I'm not quite sure that I have done Janine's example layout justice, but I've really liked having a go and having a play and trying out some different ideas to pull this page together. So the colours that I'm sort of picking out here are sort of not often, they are the yellows and oranges and some of the brighter different colours and tones there, and that's because I've used quite subtle colours and things in the background, so I've created a little bit of a contrast. So again, make sure you go down below to find Janine's Instagram link, check out some of her other work. Thanks Janine for letting me scraplift you. Love this layout and loved having a play around with it and putting it together. Here's a couple of close-ups for you to enjoy. Thanks for watching. Great to be able to share this process with you.